ग्रेटर रसमोर नेपाली कम्युनिटी GRNC ले यस वर्षको अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय नारी दिवसलाई विशेष र ऐतिहासिक बनाउँदै भव्य रूपमा मनाएको छ। 7 मार्च 2026 शनिबारका दिन अल्डरसटको द प्यालेसमा आयोजित उक्त कार्यक्रममा रसमोर बरो काउन्सिलसँगको प्रत्यक्ष सहकार्यमा गरिएको थियो। विगतका वर्षहरूमा काउन्सिललाई अतिथिका रूपमा मात्र सहभागी गराइने परम्परा रहे पनि यसपटक काउन्सिलर सोफी पोर्टरको विशेष प्रस्तावमा काउन्सिल आफैले आयोजनामा हात बढाएको थियो। संस्था स्थापनाको 20 वर्षपछि पहिलो पटक महिला नेतृत्वका रूपमा लीला सेलिङ माबोले बागडोर सम्हालिरहेको बेला स्थानीय सरकारबाट प्राप्त यो साथ र सहयोगलाई नेपाली समुदायले एउटा महत्वपूर्ण उपलब्धिको रूपमा हेरेको छ। समारोहमा मेयर कालुम स्टुअर्ट प्रमुख अतिथिका रूपमा र सांसद एलेक्स बेकर विशेष अतिथिको रूपमा उपस्थित थिए। यस वर्षको कार्यक्रमलाई विगतभन्दा फरक र थप समावेशी बनाउने उद्देश्यले मुस्लिम र अश्वेत समुदायका प्रतिनिधिहरूका साथै युवा पुस्ताको समेत सक्रिय सहभागिता सुनिश्चित गरिएको GRNC की अध्यक्ष लीला सेलिङ माबोले जानकारी दिइन्। कार्यक्रम केवल औपचारिक भेटघाटमा मात्र सीमित नभई समुदायका जल्दाबल्दा समस्याहरूमा समेत केन्द्रित रहेको थियो। संस्थाका सचिव प्रजेश श्रेष्ठका अनुसार कार्यक्रममा मानसिक स्वास्थ्य, घरेलु हिंसाको न्यूनीकरण, बाल सुरक्षा र अपराध नियन्त्रण जस्ता गम्भीर सामाजिक मुद्दाहरूमा विशेष प्रस्तुति र छलफलहरू समावेश गरिएका थिए। सामाजिक सचेतनाका साथै मनोरञ्जनका पक्षलाई पनि उत्तिकै प्राथमिकता दिँदै बालबालिकाका लागि विभिन्न खेलकुद, सांस्कृतिक नृत्य, सांगीतिक प्रस्तुति र राफल ड्र जस्ता रोचक गतिविधिहरू पनि सञ्चालन गरिएको थियो। अनिता राईको संयोजन र सुशीला थापाको सह संयोजनमा सम्पन्न यस कार्यक्रमले बेलायतमा नेपाली समुदायको उपस्थिति र स्थानीय निकायसँगको सम्बन्धलाई थप उचाइमा पुर्याएको छ।
Thank you very much. Thank you for lighting the candle and officially opening the ceremony. The candlelight is a traditional traditional event that we hold in every ceremony. It symbolizes hope, unity, and new beginning. On behalf of the organizing team, I would like to sincerely thank everyone of you for joining us today. Your presence means a lot. आज यहाँ आइदिनु भएर हामीलाई साथ दिनु भएकोमा धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद भन्न चाहन्छु। अनि यो अर्गनाइजिङ हाम्रो कमिटीको तर्फबाट
Good morning, everyone. Namaste. It's just such a pleasure to be here today at the Greater Rushmoor Nepali Community's celebration for International Women's Day. As we've said, you know, I'm the first woman to represent this community, and I'm also the chair of the all-party parliamentary group for Nepal. So it is particularly a privilege to spend time with you this morning. The Nepali community is such an important part of the lives of these towns. Your culture, your generosity, and your commitment to service enriches Aldershot and Farnborough every single day. I remember very clearly being here at this event last year, and you know, it really stayed with me, the energy and determination in the room. We heard from about the work being done to empower young people with the Women's Ballers Club, and about the incredible care shown to the older members of the community through organisations like Project Together. And look at this event today. It is at least 50% bigger, which is absolutely incredible. And you know, I pay tribute to Councillor Sophie Porter and the work she's done to enable this with the community, to expand this event and make it an even bigger thing than it was last year. What was so inspirational about everything I heard last year was that these initiatives are not just ideas. They were being led by women who care deeply about our community and who are prepared to step forward and make change happen. And that is exactly what International Women's Day is all about.
Men like myself, the community leaders that we are. So thank you for having me, Danya Buds, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
I would like to invite the President of Greater Rushmoor Nepali Community, Mrs. Leela Seling Mabo, on the stage to deliver the vote of thanks. Hamro President GRNC Co-President Mrs. Leela Seling Mabo लाई चाहिँ जोरदार तालीका साथ स्टेजमा स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छु।
Thank you so much, Susila Thapa Magar, our GRNC Project Manager and Assistant Coordinator of this event. It's a few minutes to go afternoon, isn't it? So shall I say good afternoon and good morning? Good afternoon and little bit good morning. My name is Leela Seling Mabo, President of the Greater Rushmoor Nepali Community. And I am the first female president of this community as well. As you know, we are here to celebrate International Women's Day. The theme for this year is Give to Gain. We are very happy to announce that for the first time, Rushmoor Borough Council is supporting and collaborating with us for this event. This makes us feel extremely proud. Happy International Women's Day, Nali Divas.
Okay, thank you everybody for joining us in Qatar.
नेपाली इङ्ग्लिस हिन्दी सबै हुन्छ है तपाईहरुलाई गीत थाहा छ भने सँगै गाइदिनु है सो सिङ अलोङ इफ यु नो द सङ यो फर्स्ट वाला चाहिँ सबैलाई थाहा छ होला लिरिक्स थाहा नभए पनि शब्द थाहा नभए पनि यतिकै हम गरिदिनु है थ्यांक यू
Thank you so much, Linda, for that amazing and wonderful performance. And supporting refugees and vulnerable individuals in accessing services across.
Dear respected sisters, my name is Fawzia Khan and I am from the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Today, I would like to speak about something very close to my heart. It's called Give to Gain. It's also the topic of today's event. So dear sisters, so we live in a world that tells us to focus on what we can achieve, what we can own, and what we can rescue, and what we can receive.
कुसुमेरुमा मायाको बारीमा प्रीतिको फुल सङ्घारिराखेको कुसुमेरुमा 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 कुसुमेरुमा